This is an example of mathematical expression. Mathematical expression includes numbers. We also call them constants in math. Variables, well, x is an example of a variable. There could be different variables like y or t or m, any letter pretty much. And also expressions involve mathematical operations. So in here I have subtraction, addition, and subtraction. But altogether it's a mathematical expression. Parts of the expression that we're adding or subtracting are called terms of the expression. So these are terms. How many terms do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this expression has 4 terms. As you can see, some terms involve both numbers and variables. Well, a number that stands in front of the variable is called coefficient. So 5 is the coefficient of x to the 6th power. Coefficient. Now, what is the coefficient of the second term? Well, the coefficient of the second term is -2. When we describe a coefficient, we always include the sign that's in front of the number. So coefficient is -2. Coefficient is -2. Now this expression has a special name. It's called in math polynomial. So polynomial is an expression such that all variables within that expression are raised to the powers that are whole numbers. Now some polynomials have special names and they're based on the number of terms that polynomial has. Now we said that this polynomial has 4 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually a polynomial that has 4 terms does not have a special name, but a polynomial that has only 1 term has a special name and it's called monomial. So monomial, that's polynomial that has 1 term. So here's an example. Let's say -7x to the 3rd power. If I just leave it like that, well, that's a mathematical expression. It's also polynomial, but specifically it's monomial. It has only 1 term. Or 27y. That's also a monomial. Now, if polynomial has 2 terms, you probably can guess what's going to be the name. If 1 term is monomial, then if polynomial has 2 terms, it's going to be called binomial. What's going to be an example of binomial? Well, let's say a squared plus b squared. That's a binomial. By the way, polynomials can have different variables included, so it doesn't have to be only one variable, either x or y. Variables can be mixed within the polynomial. So that's a binomial. Or 3x plus 7. That's also a binomial, right? It has 1, 2 terms. And then finally, another polynomial that has special name is the one that has 3 terms. Okay, monomial for 1 term, binomial for 2. What's the name for the polynomial that has 3 terms? Trinomial. Three terms. So example of that can be, let's say, 5x squared minus 7x plus 2. That is a trinomial. 1, 2, 3. 3 terms. Now, one more thing that I would like to mention about terms of a polynomial is that every term has a degree. So degree is the power to which variable in that term is raised. So for example, for the first term, the power of x is 6. So that means that the degree of this term is 6. Now second term, the power of x is 2, so degree of this term is 2. Degree of this term is 1. We don't see a power, but when there's x but no power is visible, it means it's 1. So degree is 1, and then term that has no variable at all has degree 0. And sometimes when you do an example or problem with polynomial, it's asking you to write your answer in descending order of degree. So the descending order of degree, that's when you start with the greatest power, the greatest degree, and then put them in order until the lowest degree. So let's just do an example. So I wrote this example. Write this polynomial in descending order of degree. So one more time, when we see word descending, it means that from highest to lowest. So I need to find term that has the highest degree. It means that's the highest power. Well, it looks like 9 is the highest power of the variable m. So I'm gonna start with that term. What is the next term that I need to write? Okay, so it's 4, 7, degree 0, degree of 1. It looks like the next one is 7, right? And when I write terms, I remember to write them with the signs in front of them. So it's minus 6m to the 7th power. I got that. Next one, the 4th power, right? Degree 4. Now, what sign should I put next? So notice how all terms are separated by pluses or minuses. So when I write 9m to the 4th, what sign do I put in front of it? Well, it's going to be plus, right? Because it's a positive term. Obviously, it's not negative, because in that case, we would have minus in front. So it's not negative, so it means it's positive. So I will put plus 9m to the 4th power. Then I'll continue with what's the next? I think it's minus 2m, degree 1, plus the constant. So constant or just a number, standalone number, will be always at the end. So if the homework question, for example, is asking you to write your answer in descending order of degrees, then that's what you need to do.